Okay guys, in Montreal, but Texas has come to Montreal. Robert's got the guitar and we're gonna get him a hat soon. That's gonna finish out that. What's your website so everybody knows?
ourlauferblog.com.
Do a lot of shows, photography, everything.
Yes. I'm doing 3 shows this weekend in 3 cities.
Oh my God, you're more than me, so yeah. And you know this guy, he's on YouTube too, right?
How's it going?
Yeah, why don't you tell everybody your channel in case they don't know?
Oh, Symphonics Audio on YouTube and Instagram.
All right, and you're dressed cool too. I feel underdressed now. What's going on here? I need to step it up. Maybe tonight.
It's always a challenge every time I see you dressed. I'm like, okay, what can I do next?
All I've got is my cowboy hat, so. All right, we got a Klipsch event here coming up, press only. So I'm gonna put this on pause and let you guys see the entire press event. I think it's got WiiM. It's gonna be Klipsch, WiiM, and who else? Let's go ahead and take a look real quick. Let me give you some light, guys.
Maybe it's some kind of test. I wish I never made it.
Truth be told, I kind of like the yellow glow lights better than the blue glow light. All right, I'll put this on pause until the press event starts. Oh, look who we have here. Good to see you. How you been? Stereophile and PMA magazine. Yes. Stereophile only? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So yeah, Montreal show is got the press in force. Stay tuned for the press event coming up soon.
We'll start the little presentation for today. First of all, I'd like to thank you for coming today, taking an hour of time. We try to feature with some coffee and some snacks to get the sugar level going. Thank you. Welcome to the Gentech room. The Gentech room is basically a room from one of our master distributors here in Canada, and we partnered up with some of our major key vendors around the world. A couple of people I'd like to introduce is Steve Lillenborg from WiiM. WiiM has chosen the Montreal show to do a global launch on some new products, and they're going to share them with you today. Secondly, we'd like to invite the team from Klipsch. Greg, Roy Delgado, where are you? Come on, Roy. There he is. And Marcus. Where's Marcus? There you are. The team from Klipsch. Klipsch has decided to do the global launch for 2 new SKUs in the Heritage, and they've chosen to actually to do it at the Montreal show. If some of you remember, we haven't exhibited at this show for almost 6 years. We've done it with some retail partners, etc. But we decided to do it in a way that's really from the vendor side, or actually from the manufacturer's side. And Klipsch launched the AK6 here 6 years ago, and we thought it was very fitting to actually do the AK7 here as well. And Roy, who actually worked together with Paul Klipsch in the early days in design, he's actually the designer of this product, so we have a great opportunity to go through it as well. We also have some team from the vendor group, Gentech, Fernando, who looks after both all brands from a product manager standpoint, but also we're going to talk about a launch for Pro-ject turntable, what we call the configurator. We'll go through that as well. And then we've got Jerry Zagara, who looks after also the TEAC side, and is going to talk about what our plan is actually to go a bit through the different stations, give you an opportunity to really dive in deep, ask some questions, etc., and get some information about the product. So with that, I'd like to hand it over to Steve.
Wonderful. Again, I'm Steve Willenborg. I'm from the Linkplay Corporation. We're actually the owners of the WiiM brand. So one of the questions that we get asked quite often is, what's WiiM and where did it start? So from a little bit of historical perspective, Linkplay started about 12 years ago, And what we did 12 years ago was Amazon was coming out with Alexa at the time. And so Bezos wanted to control the world, and he needed systems integrators. So we worked with all the chip companies, Qualcomm, MediaTek, Allwinner, and Amlogic, to come out with modules. And we worked with various companies, audio companies, as well as companies like First Alert smoke detectors and that type of thing. So our modules have been in a variety of products for about 12 years. What we're really good at is software, and that's where we really define ourselves, is on the software side. So about 4 years ago, Amazon was competing with their third-party devices, and we looked as a business, where do we need to pivot to? We looked at the streaming market, and that's what we came up with the WiiM brand. WiiM is Wi-Fi internet music, play on letters. You can spell it forward and backwards, upside down, etc., etc. And we came out with the Mini. The Mini was a product that smart streamer, had limited connectivity, but what it proved to us is that there was a void in the market, and that's where we decided to add products and add features and connectivity to all of our products in terms of step up. So what we ended up doing was taking lessons learned from what we did from our prior experience, and one of the biggest things that we try to do is the user experience. From a software perspective, we want to make sure that it's easy, the use of the product is a joy, and people, when they're digging money out of their pocket, they want to make sure that they're getting value for the product. So we've extended the line. We continue to work with all of the content providers. We're very, very close with the content providers, the Cobuzzes, the Titles, the Spotifys, et cetera, and we're coming out with a variety of different products. In Montreal here, we are, and you'll hear it with the system over here, announcing the WiiM Amp. And the catalyst for the WiiM was we've got a very good online presence, and we like to listen to our customers. And there was a void because we've got great streamers and great products, but somebody's going to call me right now. The feedback from the market was we need an amp, a non-streaming amp to support the Ultra, to support the Pro, the Pro Plus. So we did come up with the WiiM Amp. It's a non-smart streamer, but there's some intelligence. And the design, it's a 100-watt product, 200 into 8, and it's designed for really high reliability. One of the things, the market feedback that we got was, really make sure that that product is going to be robust and reliable. 24/196 capability. So, our mindset is always about the high res. We want to make sure that our products really meet what the markets are asking for. So I can hardly wait for you guys to listen to the product. I do have press packages were over there. So if you want, I've got much more information about the WiiM. Any questions?
We'll have some time at the end too, where you'll be able to sit and go through stations, listen to, and go. So we're not here to rush it. From here on in, I'd like to hand it over to Roy.
Hi, how are you guys doing? You see, today I'm Roy Delgado from Klipsch. Sometimes I'm not. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you guys are here too. Yes, Dick said that we introduced the AK6 back in 6 years ago, whenever that was.
99.
99?
Yep.
That's a long time, bro. In fact, how old am I now? Too old. So now we've got the AK7. AK7 basically, this is the speaker that started Klipsch. It's been in continuous production since 1946. I was 5 when I started, so I'm really old now. So I'm really cautious with Paul Klipsch's speakers because ultimately the things that he did back then were kind of weird in that everybody back then used horns for speakers, and because they wanted high efficiency. So the time came for the La Scala. It's missing its low end over there, and the Klipsch horn to rev them up. And it's basically because the tooling for the mid-range horn, I can take this magnet drill off. The mid-range horn in the Klipsch horn in La Scala, the tool, it just wore out. And, you know, it was like 40 years or something. And, you know, we use cheap steel, 40 years, come on. So because of that, Paul and I decided in 1996 that any new horn we design was gonna be track-tricks. And so this new horn is basically what started AK7 A06. Because in order to replace the mid-range horn, we needed to actually rev it up. But as I'm prone to do, I pulled out some other tricks as well too. Example, the Weisberg and phasing plug that Klipsch was lucky enough to get a patent on. These little things in here that, how it is in the patent, geometrically raised surfaces. I just call them the mumps because measles was taken. Because people ask me, why the mumps? Well, what these little innovations do now for us is take a legendary product, and it also shows that we're not content. We pour our tech into it because some of these things are already in other products like the Jubilee and stuff like that. So, and then we also use a DSP active. The speaker comes with a passive network, but if you want to take it to the next step and go active, which is a unit, or that particular unit is used in our flagship, the Jubilee. What I wanted to do is take that kind of tech and also introduce it to the K-horn and the Scalas, because really, DSP for me is all about time alignment. When you use an LF horn that's 8 foot long, right? I mean, you're gonna get different arrival times of all of the different horns. And so today we're going to be showing the Klipsch horns with our active DSP unit. So these speakers are Triumph. And that's probably why we kind of sat on the fence offering passive and an active, is because a lot of people just want to put a 2-channel, tube amp on their Klipsch horn. But now we also give them the ability, if to save your pennies, buy some extra amps and go up to a DSP. And I think, as Steve was saying, we kind of listen to our customers, but we want our customers to listen to us when they play them, because that is really, to me, where all the magic is. I can talk and talk and talk, but ultimately, if you don't like what you hear, who cares, right? It's time to go fishing. Any questions?
Is your DSP, is that automated, or you manually set the time alignment, or do you use mics or anything?
Oh, it's no, it's already set for you.
Okay.
Because the only thing we can control, right, is the speaker. So the only thing you're allowed to do on the DSP, let's say you want to use a solid state on the LF, you want to use a different tube amp on the mid, a different for the tweeter, they may have different input sensitivities, right? Those two knobs, you hold the mid-range constant, those two knobs in the front allow you to adjust the gains in order to get the input sensitivity matched up again. So that's really all it is. That's the only thing that I won't slap your hand with. Don't do that. But everything else is set. All the delays, crossovers, the PEQs that are necessary.
Cool.
And the other thing I tried to do, because we also have a passive, I tried to do as much as I was doing in that, except for the time alignment in a passive. And so the networks, well, let's just say, if you don't have stock in copper, once we go into production, I think you ought to buy some stock and couple. Because the networks are pretty involved.
Is the sensitivity of the speaker changed much when you run them in with the
No.
active compared to?
No, sir. No, sir. The sensitivity, what I did do is I kind of rebalanced it a little bit. The sensitivity remains the same, and so that when you look at the curve, you see the frequency response of the speaker with the passive. And then you see the things that I was able to do in the active that I can't do with the passive. And it just becomes smoother. And when you have an 8-foot horn, and then it's got a made up to this, I can't show you the actual measurement, but you can definitely hear it because the arrival time's now been adjusted. But you know, people say, well then, why don't I just go to strictly active? Because a passive, these things are so efficient, their sensitivities are high, they're so dynamic that you have to, and also because I use steep slope networks, you have to pick the right cut, like that where something's in the LF and then the harmonics go into the mid-range, where you start to hear some smearing, right? But since we use a steep slope, I always want to minimize the interference band between the crossovers.
So you've modeled the passive crossover on the parameters that you.
Oh, yes, sir. And then, you know, a couple other tweaks, I mean, on that, especially with the program that we use, I don't think I've reached the limit on, yeah, let's try this one. Yeah, let's try this one.
So are there future upgrades available? Is that like firmware upgrades or as you tweak it?
Well, I put some little secret tricks in it, but if there ever is one, like we've had the Jubilee out now for a couple of years now, and we don't have a firmware update for it yet because you know, I like to be as efficient, not just speakers and the things I do, so I have plenty of time to go fishing. I don't know if you guys know, but I like to fish. Any questions? Proof's in the pudding when we play them, you know. Like I said, it's like I tell the guys at work, let's see if I'm full of crap. Magnetic. What's next?
If you want to start back there?
Well, we'll play afterwards. I'm just gonna cover off one more thing. We've obviously talked about the K-horn, and Roy's done obviously a lot of work on it. As you can see to your right, we have a mono setup for the La Scalas and the AL6, which is also launched, and we don't really want to demur that particular launch, obviously, because obviously the K-horn being the first speaker since 1946 when Klipsch. I am, however, going to show you a little picture which basically would have made that a stereo set, and you're welcome to it, and we'll gladly send it to you. But that's how the other bass bin arrived. And I can send you the picture of this if you want. It's no problem. So we're hoping that the other bass bin is going to arrive here later on today, and you'll be able to not even hear it in mono. Which really, actually, Roy told us, we had dinner last night together, and Roy goes, well, we voice all our speakers in mono before we start stereo. That's just what you do. Dick, don't you know this?
Don't you know this?
So we actually listened to it critically in mono yesterday, and it actually sounds really good as well.
It better.
So there's that. I also want to mention before we get up and start walking around, etc., all the stations that we have as listening posts, whether it is the Vibe Link is hooked up with an Ultra, everything is played through WiiM out here. So we want to experience and carry over that experience as well. Next, I would like you to get up with me, and we're going to go and show you what's new for Pro-ject as well, if you don't mind. And then we will play. We can listen to music and have some fun. We do stuff with.
You want us to sit here or?
Whatever you want. There are no rules.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Enjoy it. We're here for you today.
Okay.
We're not here. You're not here for us. We're here for you. So, some of you may know Pro-ject intimately already. I don't know if any of you have ever traveled to Munich high-end show and experienced what Pro-ject means in Europe. The interesting part of Pro-ject was, if you remember 1990, the wall came down in Europe, and Heinz Lichtenegger, who's the owner of Pro-ject, ended up buying a turntable from the Czech Republic, from the factory at that time. Took it home, did some tweaks, and sent it in for review in some of the magazines in Europe, mainly Stereo Play, etc. in Germany. If you know the Germans, they're rather finite and precise. It's just the way they are. I'm married to one, I can say that. So it has grown over time at that point, and that actually turned into like the Debut 3, and then from there on to the Debut Carbon, and then the Debut Carbon Evo, and the Debut Carbon Evo 2. So what we're showing here is basically the evolution of what's possible with turntables and how it actually and so on. So Heinz still does the Debut Carbon Evo 2. The Evo 2 now also is available as a little package, more lifestyle. People like lifestyle products. But he never stopped focusing on the quality and fidelity. All these products are still made in Europe. Every single one. He's decided never to go to Asia and cut corners. He still uses high quality cartridges. I'm not an expert on turntable. Fernando over here is the person that you should speak to about any technology, etc., because he can carry it over. What Heinz has also done over the years is two other things. He's really started focusing a couple of years ago on balanced turntables. In other words, have a balanced preamp, etc. And as you're all aware, your signal to noise ratio, increases dramatically. You get a much better performance out of a balanced versus an unbalanced. Fernando can go into great detail on that. But what ended up happening as well is people wanted better quality products. And Heinz has this factory in Europe, and he has this, so not just only in the Czech, but if you look at Germany and their warehouse, where they also have a facility where they assemble the higher end turntables, he decided to go, why don't we build something for customers that is totally curated? In other words, have something that is unique for that one single customer only. So what they've come up with, and we're launching that here, is basically the Extension 9 configurator. Why the Extension 9? It's probably the best balance from cost versus performance. Are there higher end turntables in the actual lineup? Yes, no question. You get to the signature level, etc., but then you're into a significant price point. What they decided to do is say, okay, some people, so this is a live module. We've actually started this in September last year with some key dealers in Canada and worldwide, but we're now making it available in general. So it's a configurator. What you can do as a customer, together with the dealer, you can obviously have the Extension 9, and you can choose whatever finish you want the turntable to be in. And automatically it shows you a price at the bottom right. That's your retail price. It's in euros, so you go times 1.45, that's your price. But you can get to choose anything. You can get to choose what kind of tone arm you want. You can go premium black, you can go to an S-curve, in high gloss. So really, you can configure your turntable exactly with the tone arm. Different lengths, etc. Then you get to choose what kind of cartridge. You can also buy it without cartridge. Again, you can configure the turntable any way you please. If you have a very high-end Sumiko, whatever cartridge, and you want to put that on there, perfectly fine. Then buy it without a cartridge. But you can add a cartridge. Then the phono preamp. There's different levels of phono preamp. Of course, this is a balanced turntable. Comes with the balance cable, standard in the box. But you can choose different levels. You can do balanced preamp with or without tubes, etc. So really different gain, whatever different level of performance you have. Then of course you have the different cables that you can choose. And on top of that, you have an option of adding a separate power supply also for the turntable and preamp. So that basically brings you then to a configurator, and the customer can choose to buy it. What happens is, it goes directly from the dealer to Fernando, and within 30 days of ordering the turntable, the consumer will have the turntable in their hands, custom built for that particular person. We did a slow start because we wanted to make sure it all works well with air freight, etc. We've done a half dozen so far. Doesn't sound like a lot, but these are not inexpensive turntables. They're not extremely high end. And it's worked actually quite flawlessly. We're very satisfied with the end result of it too. So if you have any questions before you leave, I mean, feel free to learn about the different tables that we're doing. This is not the full range of Pro-ject, of course. We brought some electronics out here, accessories to maintain and accessorize a turntable. But the main focus we wanted to show here today is basically say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, you have the ability to buy an exclusive turntable that basically is 17,280 different combinations based on the different parts and pieces. But the cool part is it works. And the way we actually got to this was from the Munich high-end show. Fernando and I were in Munich at the high-end show, and we saw a wall of tone arms. And we went to Heinz, and he sat down with us, and he goes, well, Dick, you got to bring all the tone arms into Canada. And I go, no, that's not going to happen. It's crazy. I go, those are $1,000 tone arms. They don't sell that many tone arms. I go, why don't you do what like high-end car manufacturers do and build it a la carte? And that's together with our Australian distributor and our British distributor, Henley, we came up with this concept collectively, and that's what this was the birth of as well. So we're very excited, so I'll go through that. From here on in, I'm going to give it to Jerry. Jerry's going to talk about TEAC and what TEAC means and why we support TEAC, and then we'll go to listening stations and you get to ask and play and listen as much as you want.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jerry Segarra. I have been in this industry for approximately 45 years, doing bits and pieces of electronics, and we welcome you with open arms. TEAC, what is TEAC? TEAC is Tokyo Electric Audio Company. TEAC has been in business now about 79 years. They started making bits and pieces of electronics and then grew into a large corporation. TEAC is the baby brother of a larger company that you probably know is called Esoteric Audio. So Esoteric, we also have another company called Tascam, which do professional products. TEAC is just, the TEAC reference especially, is just a byproduct of all that knowledge that they have accumulated over the years. TEAC makes DACs, amplifiers, preamplifiers, digital amps, digital clocks, master clocks. They make so many products, and it's all based on the big brother, Esoteric. A top-of-the-line system from Esoteric right now retails for approximately $450,000 US. So when you come down with all that technology, all that knowledge, and bring it down to a more affordable price, we have things like the AP701 amplifier that we have over on the right. We have a UD701, which is a preamplifier with a USB DAC that does fantastic. You have units that do perfect clamping on a transport system because they still make CDs. CD players continue to be a forefront of what TEAC does to actually create proper music. And that system that you see on the far right, but that you were in front of to begin with, is approximately altogether, as you see it, $50,000. The amplifiers are individual in a mono stage, so you have a left and right, one for the bass, one for the mid-range, one for the
5,000 American.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so the configuration that we actually put together using balanced connectors, the entire thing is superbly tuned for your ears today. We have done, I believe, Roy and Dick and everybody that was involved in creating this system has done a fantastic job. But not only does TEAC make this 700 series product, they also make a baby brother, which is the 500 series, which has, I think, 8 different models, which includes clocks. Again, they have a CD player transport. They have an power amplifier with VU meters in the front. They have preamplifier with DACs built-in. They have headphone amps. And all of these are just terrific sounding because primarily what TEAC wants to do is offer the consumer proper sounding equipment. That is their goal. Make sure that your ears get what you really pay for. And from there, they also have a third line, which is a lot smaller, and it's called the 300 series, which has an integrated amplifier as well as a CD player DAC. And that is in essence what TEAC is about. As far as specifications and details about the TEAC product, I'll be around. You can ask as many questions as you like. If you need for us to send you information, we're also here to help you out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest is, let's go listen.
Great.
It's an audio show. Can I hand it over to Roy? Let's start with the, actually, you know what? Let's start with the WiiM Amp.
Yeah.
Right here. Let's do that. What we have set up here, so this is obviously the new SKU. Feel free to, there's press kits on it. So that's the WiiM Amp. By the way, I must say, as a distributor for WiiM in Canada, we are extremely fortunate to be partnered with really world-renowned brands. And all these brands that we've partnered with, if you know anything about Gentek, we don't duplicate brands. In other words, we wouldn't take on another speaker brand. We wouldn't take on another streaming brand. We really want to make sure we deal with some of the best of the best. Not saying that we're best at all. What we're saying is we really want to make sure that we are the best partners possible for our retail partners. In other words, really, so we as a team can stand behind the products 100%. And WiiM relationship started last year, really as of July. It's a young company, as you well know, but it's been a fantastic partner. Their service, their support for us, the whole team, whether it's the Asia team, whether it's the California team, we are very privileged. I keep talking. I said we were going to
Well,
listen.
what is the sub in or?
The sub is plugged in. So what we're playing today is basically the Ultra together through the WiiM Amp. The sub is actually plugged in through the Ultra, so we can turn it on or off. We're playing it through the 8000s. RP 8000s is a Canadian retail of about $2,300 a pair.
Hey Dick, why don't you let Marcus talk about that?
I was teeing up some music, guys.
Oh, there you go.
Put them on this.
So the sub is controlled on the back of the sub or within the WiiM?
Within the
Okay.
Get some stuff ready to go here. So
And
WiiM
the WiiM, by the way, does have ESS 9038 DAC in it and TI Class D amplifier.
Okay.
So, and it was designed to be, small in stature, in line with the design aspects of all of our other products.
It's a ported sub on the back?
It's a front, so that sub is a front port.
Oh,
Reference
that's
Premier.
at the bottom? Okay.
So if you look at these, one of the most popular product lineups we have are our Reference Premier subs. So when you see this front port, that's actually a technology that trickles down from our Heritage line. So having it low to the floor in an even dispersion like that controls that, what's called chuffing, that air leaving the driver. Very, very robust woofers, and then our cabinets are very heavy. I can lift a lot of things. I can lift this one and that one. I need help for both of those two. And as you're gonna find out, the 10-inch version, the 1000, does an incredible job. So these are on our Reference Premier 8000s. What is awesome about the partnership with WiiM is, as you know and heard from Roy about Klipsch, we're very efficient. We have wide dispersion, high dynamic range, and controlled directivity. So even in a room like this, we can give you a really good experience. I want to bring some chairs over here so you guys can listen. We also, because we're so efficient, we can highlight if an amplifier doesn't do a really good job, and we can highlight it when it does a great job. And WiiM is a great partner of ours because They put plenty of power in here, and as you're gonna find out, we don't really need a lot of it, even though we're in a big room. Alright, so when you go to the WiiM app, you can access anything from Qobuz to Spotify. Everything just automatically shows up, and then we actually can see all 4 systems that we have in the room. So it's really easy to group and ungroup. This system here, we're going to go to Browse. This will be coming from Qobuz.
Is that because they're co-sponsoring the show?
Yeah. And I hit the wrong system, so that's my fault.
Approximate retail for this entire system?
$3,500
For the entire?
for what you're going to experience. So we're doing the 8000s sub and the WiiM Amp.
Oh, wow, okay.
And the stream.
And the stream. Done.
Keep you a deal on the rack.
Caller standby.
Awkward.
I'm not hearing the speaker, but I hear the sub.
Too many people on the network, that's what it is.
That could be.
Yeah.
I'm getting woofer. I'm getting no. Oh, there it is.
I took a page out of your favorite book. You sold me lies just by the way you look. Taught me a language that I'll never speak. Baby, that ain't for me. That ain't for me. I dug my grave watching the way you move. You took me higher than I ever flew. Too many times gave you a second chance. Baby, I'm just a man. I'm just a man. No more thinking about you late night. No.
You've got to stop root.
Oh. So, I think we all got enough out of that.
Quadraphonic.
Yeah. What makes that great though is, again, we can stream high resolution to the streamer. The amp's got plenty of headroom behind that. In a giant room, we're about 3/4 volume. On these, the reference mirror, so these are a updated version. These are Mark II. So we had our originals. These are the updated. The 8000, so the easy way to remember these two is if you've got a 6 in it, it's a 6-ish driver, 6.5. And the 8 is the 8-inch driver. And again, big sound in a small room, and it really highlights what that amplifier can do. This system for under $5,000 is what we sell a ton of because of the trickle-down technology from our Heritage products.
Can you get the prices on the different subs?
We'll give you a complete listing if you want.
Okay.
Commando, we have all the Canadian
I know
pricing
US
there, so-
pricing.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try another track here. So.
What cables do you guys represent?
We actually build our own.
Oh, you build your own cables?
Yeah, so Ultralink is a brand that we own.
Thanks to you, I've got a reason to get out of bed, make a move or two. Thanks to you, there's a net below. 'Cause otherwise, well, I don't know. And thanks to you, there are promises of laughs and loves and labyrinths, and reason to suspect that I'm meant for this. A smile, a song, a tender kiss. Thanks to you. Thanks to you, there's a thing I think I know, I really mean, or variations on that theme. Thanks to you, I have time to turn.
So we're gonna have a lot more time if you wish to listen to product. Please take your time. The interesting thing is, obviously this, as Steve said, is the WiiM Amp. It's quite potent. Think about this. This is $449 Canadian, $299 American. That's it. It's very inexpensive for what introduction for hi-fi is for a consumer. We actually have created a unique system here in Canada, and if you walk around a bit later on, we've created the ultimate streaming starter kit, where basically you have a dual stereo 6.5-inch bookshelf monitor, complete with speaker wire, complete with the WiiM Amp in one box, at a level of Canadian 1100. What's that American? $799 or something like that. So that the value is incredible for somebody to actually get into real audio.
That's
to
just
start
the
with.
WiiM Amp?
No, that's the WiiM Amp actually, because
okay.
the WiiM Amp has the streamer built inside. It's 60 watt per channel versus 100 watt, and it doesn't quite have the same DAC built inside as it does. But it's a great start. It's basically, imagine a WiiM Pro Plus with an amp. That's the best way to describe it. So $299 American separately, $449 Canadian retail for that whole unit. But you know what? Let's go listen to K-horns, because there's not a lot of people in here, so you might as well go and join them. This is the real fun stuff.
Sorry.
Oh, listen.
Yeah, I know, I get that. But you got the passive version. It comes with the automatic. Okay.
Sweet spot?
Thank you.
I'm ready to go. He said I'm ready to go.
I'm not on that now.
Do you need me on there?
No.
We, obviously hotel networks, you can't rely on, so we actually set up our own internal network in the room, so we can all be on, stream, activate, etc. Is it ideal? No, but it works.
We're gonna play something, I think.
So Steve.
Let's move on. You know, we'll do a little bit of everything, because we can. Here we go. You just heard this, I think.
Thanks to you, I've got a reason to to bed, make a move or two. Thanks to you, there's a net below. 'Cause otherwise, well, I don't know. And thanks to you, there are promises of laughs and loves and labyrinths, and reason to suspect that I'm meant for this. A smile, a song, a tender kiss. Thanks to you. Thanks to you, there's a thing I think I know, I really mean, a variations on that thing. Thanks to you, I have time to turn.
Traditionally, these are designed to place in a corner,
Yes, sir.
but they're not. So are you compensating for that at all? In the base?
Actually, the only reason they were supposed to be in the corner was because we didn't have that back panel.
Okay.
So now we have the back panel in them. And one of the tricks that I have in the crossover that I haven't even told, I've just told some people, and so I'm gonna tell you guys, you gotta keep it a secret, okay? Can I trust you?
No.
Hey, I like honesty. The crossovers are gonna come out 7 and 8, or 5 and 6 are for the LF section if it's in or close of point. Okay. 7 and 8 is if they're not, and there is some compensation to to get that loading up.
You said there's a back panel. Do you remove that if you're using?
No, it's the outputs on the DSP.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 1 and 2 are tweeter, 3 and 4 are mid-range, 5 and 6 are LF, and then 7 and 8 is you don't have them near or in a corner.
Okay. And say on the passive version, if you're replacing corner or not corner, is there some?
Yeah, it's gonna suck a little. No, I'm kidding. No, for even in a passive, it's in between the two.
Okay.
Right? So, yeah, I haven't even told the product guys that. I'm not kidding. I haven't even told them. I programmed the first units, right? Wanted to make sure pass their quality test, electrical, curves and stuff. And so I said, we got 7 and 8 free. Let's do something with it.
The embargo, by the way, on this was March 25th. So that's how new it is.
I learned about that trick last night over adult beverages.
And that's funny because I don't act like an adult when I have an adult beverage. I don't even know what they call them. So let's try this. This one's got some pretty dynamic bass and drums, which I like this. I say I kind of play, but I'm not sure.
Let me show you the Pro-ject stuff over here. I can show you. These are really cool turntables for mega dollar budgets, up to $20,000 or more. And you don't have to skimp on looks.
Can we hear the La Scala as well? Or is it
In mono?
Yeah.
Got a little tube.
I bet we can.
All right, you put your Spanish song?
Yeah, Spanish song in here. It's for all the French speaking people.
So there was an issue with the other bass cabinet, so. All right, great demo.
It should be called the Scala.
Much more to come.